Hello there guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm the Rogue Witcher. Thank you for joining me. In today's video we will be reviewing Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord episodes 1 and 2, the premiere of the new hit show over on Disney+. I'm super excited to break down episodes 1 and 2 of Maul, and I think it's been a very strong start. I don't want to waffle on too long, but just before I get into the review, if we can do the normal stuff guys, like the video. That's honestly, that might be the most important thing, because it just tells YouTube, push this video, people are liking it. Comment if we can, because most importantly, I like to talk about geek stuff, and I'd like to talk to you about it as well. And if you want to stick around and subscribe, I'd love to keep you trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the year, closing on 500. Slow and steady wins the race. No more waffling guys, let's get into this review. Episode 1, Dark Revenge. I think it started fantastically well. You know, it's very Star Warsy. We have a heist sort of scene, which I thought was really cool, because I wasn't expecting that's how they're going to introduce certain characters. And you know, they go and rob, I'm guessing it's some sort of bank, and they steal the credits. They start to escape. They get surrounded by local police, which is like the droids, and there is one detective, and you can see them fighting. Broadcast and some of Maul's species, Zabrax, I believe is the correct word. And you're thinking, okay, it's going well, and then you see it, the scene from the trailer where Maul just comes down, and it's the Phantom Menace music, which is just even more epic. And then he lights the saber. I mean, it's such a cool shot, and then boom, takes him out, and that's how they introduce. What a start, you know, to a show. That's the way to do it. We find out pretty quickly that his plan is to get revenge. He once ruled a crime syndicate built up of multiple faction of syndicates, and he believes, well, he says that they betrayed him. We don't know how or why yet, and he's going after revenge. He decides to do this sort of heist here to get the credits, and that's going to help his cause, but to pit people against each other. Vario and I believe it was Demis, something like that, and he's pitting them against each other, making them think that he didn't do it, that one of them did it to the other, so that they will start a war, because as it stands there is a truce between the syndicates. Plan goes as you'd expect perfectly, and they do turn on each other, Vario coming out on top to Maul's surprise, and Maul then goes and of course plans his revenge. We then meet a master and an apprentice. We don't get names, but the master looks really cool, some sort of like amphibian vibe. I believe his name is Echo, I'm not too sure. And then Izara is the apprentice. I don't think the names are mentioned, but I looked it up, that way we know who we're talking about. And straight away you get the sense that she is not thrilled by this, you know, clean-cut sort of way of following the rules, because now we're in a different time. You know, we're in a time of, like Maul says, lawlessness, and that we need to adapt. And yeah, okay, we're going hungry. Yeah, we're sitting on our principles like the Jedi did, but look where the Jedi are now. How did that serve them? And you know, her master's saying, no, we don't need to steal, we can still rely on the kind strangers, we have to keep to these principles. And already I love how an early seed, in just a first scene, you can see how her mindset is different to his, which I assume is going to lead her down to the path of Maul. Maul also interestingly expresses to Rookcast that he has visions of said Padawan. It's interesting, that is the Force forcing them together for some reason. I just really liked that. I wasn't expecting that, but Maul is having visions, and it's of her. It's of another Force wielder. So is it destiny? Is it their path supposed to meet? I'm kind of curious about that. At the end of the episode, Maul and his crew, which is pretty cool, because you see Rookcast and a few of the Mandalorians, obviously from his previous time on Mandalore ruling there, so he's still got some, you know, core followers, and he also has again some Zabrax, so some local people to him and his planet, and so he's got a pretty cool unit of good fighters and warriors that's going to back him. They attack the sort of police headquarters, if you will, and well, their plan was to kill Vario, but they ended up taking him because he believes now that he can lead him to the leader of the Pike Syndicate. So he's sort of using Vario, and again helping to go after all the people that he feels wronged them. What is interesting is apparently all these different little syndicates, Black Sun, the Pikes and Crimson Dawn, all once followed Maul, as we saw in Clone Wars briefly. I thought Maul formed Crimson Dawn, but it sounds like Crimson Dawn is already a faction, and maybe he ends up taking over and leading Crimson Dawn. That is interesting, I thought. And at the very end of the episode, very cool, where he starts taking out the droids. Very cool and very dark of Maul. We then see him free the apprentice. So very cool first episode. I really liked it. Starting to already understand the plot. We're getting obviously links to the past of his time with the syndicates and what that's going to be about. Seeing Rookcast and, you know, his acolytes, seeing him just mess people up. We're starting to understand what he's wanting to do. He wants revenge on the syndicates. He's also stealing the money, which is obviously going to fund his future project, I'm guessing, of, you know, building up a syndicate of his own, probably, like we say, overtaking Crimson Dawn. The seeds of the vision of the Jedi leading him, you know, he says he's going to use and mold her, you know, to become a weapon. I'm very excited. I thought it was a very good, strong first episode. Episode 2, guys, Sinister Schemes. I'm loving the names. This one was a bit more simplistic in its storytelling. It's very simple. Maul is sort of not interrogating, but he's using mind games on Izara. He puts her in a cell and he says, listen, you're free to leave anytime you want. She doesn't see it that way, but obviously this is a test. He's testing her of her capabilities. He's also saying to her, and slightly manipulation of, again, your way of doing things, why does that serve you now? That has gone. You know, you're still living in the past. That time has come and gone and passed. Where are you now, and how are you going to adapt to the surroundings and the way of the universe currently? I also like the fact that he's clearly ambitious more, because he also says he wants revenge on Palpatine. I mean, that's a big scope, and he realizes he needs a Padawan, another Force ruler, if he even has a hope in hell of taking on Palpatine. Obviously, we know that's not going to go his way, but it's interesting to see how it could play out. I still have a hope that we could see him face Vader. I really do. I love the start of the episode as well, because Maul escapes the prison. You see that. It was really cool. And he had a slight confrontation with her master. They both clocked eyes. He then, of course, caused a distraction. Perfect to get away. Classic Maul. I'm really hoping we get a cool showdown between them two, because obviously he's not going to be thrilled that Maul is trying to steal his Padawan. At some point, she's probably going to have to make a choice. I'm loving already the dynamics between characters I've only just met. It already feels extremely interesting. They've really, you know, got me to buy in already. Maul uses the information he gets from Vario, which I really like, to attack some of the Pikes, steal some credits, and send a message to the head of the Pike Syndicate that he is coming for him for his revenge. I love how brutal this was. He was sinister in the way he chopped them down. These aren't droids this time. These are people, and I thought it was shot brilliantly. Loving the angles of the lightsaber dueling. I love the way his lightsaber looks like when it moves. It leaves like a slight like smear almost. It's pretty cool. Seeing them take them out, they're going darker. You're seeing kill shots. I really appreciate that. Again, because of the planet at night time is a lot. I'm loving how unbelievable the visuals are. It's so crisp, so bright, so sharp. Fantastic. Absolutely loving it. We have this male guy. I'm not going to talk too much. Detective Lawson. He's clearly going to be a main character. He's investigating. He doesn't want them to go to the Empire with this. He wants to crack it himself. He's got some family problems. So he's going to be a character that we do have to follow. The very end of the episode, again, is very interesting. He continues to talk to Izara and say his little, you know, teasers. Again, saying that you can leave any time. It's, you know, he's baiting her, and of course she does. She attempts to break out, and of course eventually is successful. She's broken out of her slight cell, still in Maul's base. Is she going to hear him out? Is she going to go and attack him, or is she just going to try and escape quietly? I'm pretty sure Maul's aware of what is happening, but an interesting way to end the second episode. Right then, guys, that is episode 1 and 2. I thought they were very strong episodes. We've gone straight in. We know what Maul is sort of, you know, his first motivation is with revenge and taking out the Pike syndicates that betrayed him. We meet his crew of Mandalorians, Rookcast, and some, you know, Zabreks. He's got some cool droids, and he's gathering money and planning revenge and taking out the syndicate people. His other motivation, through visions of the Force, he believes that he needs this apprentice, 1, to help him achieve his ends, but 2, I think he misses that kinship. I think he enjoyed having an apprentice when he had his brother in the Clone Wars, and I think a part of him maybe doesn't realize that yet, but that is also part of the reason he seeks her out, if you will. Really cool start from the show. Visuals, as I said, amazing. Really enjoying some new characters already. Very limited, but already very much piquing my interest. And I think with the dark tone, I think this has a real shot of being fantastic. Animation normally on Star Wars is always amazing. When Dave is overseeing it, it's phenomenal. Really excited, and I really enjoyed the start of Darth Maul's Shadow Lord. Tell me what you guys think in the comments section below. I want to hear all your thoughts and theories. Who's your favourite character? Everything. I reply to every single comment. I love to talk Star Wars. If we can on the way out, like the video, just helps me, as I said previously. And most importantly, thanks for watching, especially if you stay to the end, because at the end of the day, that is the most important thing, and that helps me out the most. If you want to stick around and subscribe, like as I said, I'd love to keep you, try and get to 1,000 by the end of the year. That would be awesome. And yeah, guys, I'm not going to waffle on any longer. I want to thank you one last time for watching. I hope you loved it as much as I did. We're up and running on Star Wars, Darth Maul, Shadow Lord, baby. Come back every Wednesday, UK time, 11 PM. My reviews, or 10 PM sometimes, will drop. Right then, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. As always, I've been the Rogue Witcher. I'll see you next time, guys. Adios.